Hi, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Sidelines Unite team call. It is Sunday, September 10, and I'm Tammy Ray, Regional Vice President and Independent Consultant, and so excited to be part of Arbonne. And I tell you what, I'm just, I don't know about you guys, but I've just been thinking about Florida so much today, and my dad's in Naples, and just so grateful to report everything's good. They have lots of trees down, a leaking roof, but they're okay, everything's good, and just, I know everyone's been thinking about our Arbonne family there too, so just sending out good vibes and continued prayers because the cleanup is still pending. It's still a huge aftermath after any big hurricane. So we'll just continue to think of them. But I think the worst part is done. So I've been a little tense all day. But I'm just so grateful to connect and come together. And you guys, this is, there's no school for network marketing. So this is how we learn. We, show up for team trainings. And I tell you what, when I was brand new, I went to everything. I listened to every recorded call. I listened to every Learn and Burn. I came to every meeting, every Discover Arbonne, and I was hungry to learn. And so that's what I see. The people showing up on the calls every week are the people hungry to learn. And this is how you grow. And, hot coals coming together stay hot, and this is what we need. If you become disconnected, it's like your cell phone. You disconnect and you die. That's just how it goes in this kind of business. So we want to stay together. We want to keep learning from each other. And I tell you what, it's just one of my favorite times is Sunday night to come together. And I'm so excited to hear from ERVP, Kendall Stolz tonight. She's one of my favorite people to listen to train. She's just an excellent teacher. And when you talk, Kendall, seriously, it's just so clear. So I just can't wait to hear what you got out of this book, Taking the Stairs. Always excited about a new book too. So take it away, Kendall. We can't wait to learn from you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Welcome everyone to our Sidelines Unite call. I really appreciate Tammy for putting these together, as well as all the other VPs. So I hope that you guys learned tonight. I'm going to be looking down a bit to my notes, just so that you guys know that. And I hope you guys learn some of the tidbits that I gleaned from this excellent book. Take the Stairs by Rory Vaden. So if you guys have not read this, I think this should be top on your list, because it's not just a book that you can learn things from to apply to your Arbonne business, but it can be across your whole life. So I really love this, and I got some really good tips. So over the past 7 years that I've been with Arbonne, I believe my greatest gain has been the friendships and the personal development. One of the ways to achieve both is by doing what we're doing right now. All of us right now are together. We all see each other's faces. I mean, I can see Marie, I can see Corey, I can see Tammy, and it makes us know each other when we finally meet in person, or it helps us cheer each other on. So what we're doing right now is we're plugging into each other and ourselves. So many leaders say that great leaders are readers. And so that's why I've just been trying to pick one really good book every month for my whole team to read, and we share tips. I also believe that the books that you read and these little tips that you learn, you have to apply them. So that is the challenge, right? How many of us go to a training and we're like, oh my gosh, that's the most amazing. Or you read a tidbit in a book and you think that is amazing. And then we get busy with life and we don't necessarily apply it. So these are going to be the 7 simple steps that are defined by Taking the Stairs, and he gives us a list in the book. So I just also want to encourage all of you to mute yourselves as you come on, just so there's not any room noise. Okay, so get ready. I'm going to talk fast, you guys. I'm getting ready. Okay, so number 1 in the 7 is sacrifice. And that is the paradox principle. So how many of you have had a problem in your life that you ignore, either consciously or unconsciously? Does it go away on its own, or do we need to tackle it? So I'll give you a personal story. Before I started my Arbonne business, I was and still am a makeup artist. Well, when the economy tanked 8 years ago, so did 90% of my income. And for the first 6 months after I really stopped working and kind of lost my career, I was in denial. It's not just a river, it's a place where we live in our mind. And then the next 6 months, I spent it in fear, anxiety, depression, and carbs. Because the financial problem that we developed by me losing 90% of my income, it didn't go away because I just refused to tackle it. I couldn't deal with it. It was debilitating. And my aunt kept asking me to do Arbonne, and of course I told no, 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 until I said yes. Now, 7 years later, we have tackled that financial problem. And so when I read this in the book, it really struck home for me. So, really think about that, right? And I asked myself, are you willing to suffer the immediate pain for the long-term gain? Because you know what? Sometimes starting an Arbonne business and doing something outside your comfort zone can be an immediate pain, an immediate rejection. You get a couple no's, and then you're like, oh, doesn't work, and we're done. So are you willing to kind of suffer through that to get the long-term gain? Take it from me. It's worth it. And I had a lot of pain to suffer through. So, all right, moving on. Number 2, commitment. Okay, this was a big one. Commitment, the buy-in principle. Okay, the more we have invested in something, the less likely we are to let it fail. So I'm not talking about money, you guys. Buying in, even though when I first started my business, we didn't have any money, and I put my Arbonne business on my credit card, which my husband was completely against, and he was like, no, 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 and I literally went like, bloop, onto the computer and pushed that submit, and was like, I'm sorry, we're doing this. And we didn't have the money, but I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about an emotional investment. If your why doesn't make you cry, I want you to rewrite it. Get honest with yourself, have a conversation with yourself, and dig deep. Push that ego to the back seat. Okay? I have been so emotional in this business. It has made me go from a completely walled person of self-protection and denial, and everything is fine because that's how I grew up, to a person that can admit not everything's okay right now in my life. And I need all of you to pour into me so that I can start believing in myself. I didn't have any of that skill before I started Arbonne. So I emotionally invested, and that is what will keep you going through the no's and the hard times, and it will help you celebrate your successes so much sweeter. The other thing is we don't realize that by having a neutral attitude of, I'm not sure, we are continuously giving up on ourselves. We are turning back at a critical moment, right before we would have succeeded. So that hesitancy creates a cycle that gives us probably what we've always gotten, average. So I'll try to do it. I might be able to get there. I think I can. Therefore, it allows us to avoid our strengths and live in our fears. It's harder to live in your strengths than it is to live in our fears, because we can push those fears into that denial land. But when we have to really hone and share our strengths, that is a brave thing to do. If you change your attitude by 1 degree and decide that you are all in, that can be your pivotal moment. So it's like we all have cooked. You put water on the stove and it's really, really hot and it simmers. And then in 1 degree, it boils. And that's the difference that can make in our Arbonne business. So focus. This is number 3 for those of my people who love to number. Number 3, focus. This is the magnification principle. Focus is power. You can start a fire by focusing sunlight through glass. You can break a car window with a pen. It's focusing on one point until it creates an explosion in your business. So focus is like, how are you living? Are you making healthy, happy choices? There's just so many ways that you can create focus. One of them I like is not only visualizing and writing my goals down, but I like to vision board. So I'm going to show you guys. This is one of my vision boards that I have made. There's me in a beautiful, like thin 20s body. And right here is the Mexico coastline that was the AIT trip. So I made this in last December, and it's all about traveling and going where I want, and I wanted to go to Mexico where our trip is, and I did earn that trip. So I make these super pretty, and I put it by my bed so that I see it every single day. And it has helped me achieve my goals. You know, the one thing with focus is please avoid the priority dilution. And that's by filling your schedule with, let's see. If you fill your schedule with the things that you have to do, it will help you create the life that you want. So life is never calm. Like, I don't know about you guys, but my life is never calm. There's always something. If it's not the kids, it's the husband. If it's not the husband, it's the dogs. If it's not the dogs, it's the cars, it's the house, it's, you know, my career. There's always something going on in my life where there is no perfect time. What I try to do is I try to prioritize and streamline so that I can focus what I need to get done on the day I need to get done. So he has a lot of other tips in that chapter about focus and how to do it. Number 4, hopefully I'm not moving too fast for you guys, is integrity. And that is the creation principle. So you and I have the power to author change in our lives by first carefully choosing our words and then living into them. And words, of course, we know have power. And the creation principle of integrity states, you think it, you speak it, you act it, and it happens. So this is the law of attraction. It is just like writing out your goals. When you think about your goals, you write out your goals, you speak your goals, and then you act towards earning your goals, and it happens. So in the law of attraction, you know, there is that word action. And so you have the power to invent possibility for good or for bad. So I'm going to give you a personal example of this. So my husband, his last job that he no longer has, thank goodness, we both hated this place he worked. He hated it. I hated it. We hated it for many years. And we constantly would say, oh, I wish you could, you know, have a different job, or I wish you didn't have this job. Well, guess what? One day came home, didn't have that job because, you know, company lost accounts, and that was that. Well, we didn't really mean for him to like lose his job when it wasn't on our schedule with our finances like all set up. It was just like out of the blue, right? So, but then after thinking about it, I was thinking, you know what? We said it, we thought it kind of happened. I mean, we put it into action and it kind of happened. It just was not for the good. So make sure that you're really thinking about what you're thinking about. It's like mind your mind, right? A lot of leaders say it's not that you're asking, should I? It's asking, how will I? And that can apply to so much in your life. I love that creation, that we have the power to do that with whatever we want in our life, one step at a time. So, number 5, this is the schedule. So this is the harvest principle. So I feel like, and I took this quote from the book, it's a privilege, not a sacrifice, to pay the price for my dreams. Think about that. So it's a privilege, it's not a sacrifice, to pay the price for my dreams. That's pretty profound. You know, we're not talking about hard sacrifices to utilize this vehicle of Arbonne to get the life of your dreams. And it's a privilege to work for those. So we all know that farmers work all year just for one harvest, right? You know, they reap the rewards in harvest season. And right now, you are growing a garden. You plant the seed by announcing your intention with Arbonne. So make that a firm, strong seed. When people say, what do you do? I have the privilege of working with a fabulous health and wellness company. It's called Arbonne. What do you do? You know, I mean, just be proud. And believe me, I wasn't always there. I was a district manager, and I would say, my name is Kendall Stolz, and I'm a district manager with Arbonne. And my friend Tamara would be like, I'm sorry, Kendall, what did you say? And I'd be like, I'm Kendall Stolz, I'm a district manager with Arbonne. And it wasn't until she sat me down at a Panera and made me say, I'm a district manager with Arbonne, like 10 times, until I could look her in the eyes and say it. I didn't even have to believe when I was a district manager. So I'm passionate now, but I wasn't then. So if you're not passionate now, just know that you can change and become passionate. So that's your seed. That intention is your seed, okay? You're gonna water it by sprinkling belief in Arbonne to yourself and to others. You're gonna grow your little sprouts by being helpful and caring to others with these products, and you nurture those sprouts to flower by shining your radiant self, because we are all radiant. We are all meant to be here to do something that is great. And so that means you're radiant. And pretty soon you're going to have an entire field of these beautiful bursting sunflowers. Whatever your favorite flower is, that's what I want you to picture as your favorite and your Arbonne business. And you're growing that field. Okay? You guys can create the perfect schedule, you know, on the harvest, because we're in harvest. Create that perfect schedule. You know, use those skills, those time blocking, your calendar, all of that. I will tell you right now, I have earned 5 of the AIT trips. I don't earn them in December and January. I earn them right now. These next 3 months that you build your clientele and you share these products, you will reap the rewards when that trip is announced. You don't start running and sprinting. This is a marathon. So if you want to be on vacation next year with all of us, get busy growing your garden right now. You can tell I'm excited about that. Number 6, faith, the perspective principle. Sometimes we make choices not out of a lack of discipline, but out of a lack of perspective and faith. So you guys, if you have an unwavering faith in your ability to achieve your goals in your life with the vehicle of Arbonne, I want you to shout it from the rooftops and inspire others. Do you guys truly believe that through this vehicle of Arbonne, you can grow your community, make connections, create self-development, create lasting friendships? Yes, yes, Corey, exactly. If you are flailing about in maybe land, then you need to change your perspective until you have so much faith in yourself that people, not just yourself, but in Arbonne and this industry, that people keep giving you the compliment, you've changed. Why, yes, I have. Thank you, Arbonne. How have you been? That's how you want to be greeting them. So if you're kind of in maybe land like now, like maybe I will, or maybe I won't, or I should, I want you to get out of maybe land. That is just a bad place to be. And get into I can, I will, I'm gonna. And if you need help, this is where you need to be. You need the meetings, you need the trainings. We all pour into each other. I constantly ask myself at 5:45 a.m. on Wednesday morning, do I really need to get on this training? It is so early. I'm not an early girl. And I say, absolutely, Kendall, you get up. I don't care if you don't have makeup on, your hair's wet, and you look atrocious. You get up and you get on that call. And every Wednesday morning, it just pours into me, and I have a fantastic Wednesday. And, I just love it. Okay, so number 7, here we are at the end. So this is action. This is the pendulum principle. I always mispronounce that word, pendulum principle. Right? So the law of action says that it does not matter what we say we believe. Our real beliefs are revealed in how we act. So let's start by putting into action steps 1 through 6. Action is the absolute cure for fear. So if you are doubting whether or not you should ask somebody, I urge you to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and move. That has changed my life in these last two months. It has made me ask people that are on my high achievers chicken list, and they've been like, oh yeah, sure, I'll have coffee with you. I'd love to talk about Arbonne. Sure, okay. And I'm like, okay, I thought I would get your voicemail, but yeah, that'd be great. You have to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and do it. Do not self-sabotage yourself out of being successful. So if you know your habits of how you create failure in your life, I want you to recognize those traits and those behaviors. I want you to write them down, and then I want you to never do them again. And I have it too. You guys, I'm like, I gotta get ready for Mexico, but a little bit of chocolate at night won't hurt me. Complete self-sabotage. Letting things go for the last minute, not picking out my outfit so I'm rushed in the morning and hassled and I yell at my kids. It's self-sabotage. I do the behaviors too, and I am always mindful that, that was self-sabotage right there, Kendall. I just set myself up for failure so I could be like, see, it didn't work. So if you have that in you, just try to figure it out and don't do it. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And no matter the choices that you have made in the past, no matter what they are, you have the power to act now by making simple choices that will lead you to your successes. Okay? I so strongly believe that. You have the power to wake up tomorrow and have the rest of your life. And you guys realize that we've got another 40 or 50 years or more. We have an entire life. Have you guys seen the 80-year-old woman who is the bodybuilder fitness woman, she didn't start working out till she was 71. So whatever is going on in your life, tomorrow when you wake up, it can be a whole new day and a whole new life. And you have that power to do that. So here's my call to action. Thank you guys all so much for listening. I adore this book. I cannot say enough about it. It was fantastic. I challenge you all to put 1 through 6 into action. Now is the time to make it happen in Arbonne. Arbonne is absolutely exploding. And like our trainer last week said, it's because you said you would. People did not join Arbonne. They joined you. Commit to 30 faces in 30 days. Commit to these trainings and grow your own garden of Arbonne flowers. There is nothing sweeter than helping someone else develop this business and be successful. Whatever that success is, there's nothing sweeter than helping somebody do that. And it helps you help others realize their greatness while you are realizing yours. It's like you get to work in tandem. It's fantastic. So thank you, Tammy Ray, and everyone at Sidelines. I love these calls. I get like all pumped up. I get my bronzer on, and I just love it. So thank you. That's all I have for tonight. I love it. Thank you, guys.
So who has questions for Kendall or comments? And yes, I loved that, Susan. It's a privilege to pay the price for our dreams. Oh my goodness. I need to highlight that. That's really good.
Yeah, well, I did not write that. It's totally in the book. So we get the book. I can't, for some reason, I cannot see the chat. Oh, wait.
It's a privilege, not a sacrifice, to pay the price for my dreams. I love that.
The privilege, not a sacrifice. I love that. Corey and Amy and Susan, you guys are so, so welcome. I love it. I love pouring into it. And Corey, just so you know, wait, did I just lose you?
Nope, we're here.
Okay, I thought I lost you. Corey, just so you know, I really appreciate that you loved the training. I did. I totally copied it from Ashley Stone. She's a really good girlfriend of mine, and I asked her, and so all great leaders know how to copy. So thank you for sharing that. I'm so happy I impacted you.
The 30 and 30 is what you're referring to.
The 30 and 30, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I did do that. I did read that. It was great.
Wonderful. Love it. Who's doing 30 and 30? Yay. So four people? That's good. All right. Cool. And it's so true. I love how you talked about harvest, and that harvest doesn't come, right in the moment. There's all this prep work that comes before the harvest. And you guys, there's that holiday cash incentive, a 3-month incentive for September, October, November. And it's going to, cause the momentum for December, which is usually a really great month in Arbonne. So yes, buckle in. Let's go for this ride. Let's do our 30 and 30. That's going to definitely help us to catch the wave for this month, and then it'll just keep trickling into the next month. So the only way we can grow, you guys, is to sponsor. And the 30 and 30 leads to sponsoring, just telling the Arbonne story over and over and over to as many people as we can. Exactly. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's right, Heather. So it's so true. And good things do happen. People want to jump into a moving river. You know what I mean? So you want to be that person in action because it's attractive. It's attractive to be, moving. And like you said, Kendall, there's no perfect day. There's no perfect month. There's no perfect anything. It's like I just stumble through every single day. That's how I feel. But I'm committed. So I'm going to keep doing it, even though it's not pretty. And here's the deal. Commitment isn't convenient. Commitment isn't pretty. It's not glamorous. It's you're going to do it, whether you feel like it or not, because you're committed to your dreams. And I love that exercise that was brought up again in this last gold call about
we
writing.
Lost Tammy. Hopefully she will come back. I don't know if something happened. We lost her.
Oh, shoot.
There you are.
Are you okay? Good.
You're back.
Okay, good. So I love that exercise of writing out 10 reasons why you're in Arbonne, and be very specific, 10 reasons why, and then book 10 activities in your calendar. And if you only book 5, you have to erase 5 of those whys because they're not strong enough, apparently, to get you to book your calendar. Because, as Kendall said, it doesn't matter what we say. It matters what we do. It matters what our calendar looks like. Our calendar is a reflection of what our beliefs are and what we're really committed to. So,
yeah.
Woo, good stuff. Woo. That was a deep, wonderful, thought-provoking call, Kendall. Appreciate you. And
thank you.
Yes, it definitely called me to action. I have some work to do. And I'm just so appreciative of you for pouring into us. And I will definitely buy that book. That sounds like an amazing read. That one to read over and over. Yeah.
It is really good. Well, I was just going to say, it's the process of getting out of maybe land. So think about when you ask somebody, hey, would you like to take a look at the products? And they're like, yeah, I don't know, sometime. That's maybe land. And maybe land is a hard place to be. It would be so much better if they just said, no, I have everything I need right now. Wouldn't that just be better?
Yes.
Because then and you're not in maybe land. And that's what I want all of you guys to think about. If you are struggling with your belief, plug into these. Go to the meetings, plug into the trainings, I used to listen to these learn and burns. Remember when we got learn and burns on the CDs?
Yes.
And it was it was nauseating how much my husband Steve could do the rhythm of the music on the piano because I listened to learn and burn so much. But that's what instilled the belief to keep going through all the ups and downs. And right now it's just a up time in Arbonne. So I encourage you. I can't tell you guys how many times I asked somebody to sit down with me with Arbonne and they say yes. And even now I'm like, oh, okay, let's do it. I'm like, you said yes. It's so awesome. So just be honest, and people are so attracted to firm, committed belief. So when I was a district manager and I was introducing myself and saying, I'm a district manager with Arbonne, nobody wanted to hear about Arbonne because I couldn't say to somebody, I am a district manager with Arbonne, in firm, committed voice. So that's what I want to leave you guys with. I know it's 9:00 and it's our time to end. Tammy, I don't know how you want to close out.
I was just thinking of Rita Davenport and how she would always say, hate to brag, but I do Arbonne. And that really needs to be our posture because it's so true, you guys. We're part of a company that wants to be known as the #1 company for giving back. And I'm sorry, but that is something to brag about. And we can say that, hate to brag, but I am part of Arbonne because it's the kind of person that, it's the kind of people that I want to be a part of. It's the kind of person that I want to be, is that person, making the world a better place. And we are difference makers and neighborhood changers, and we need to be proud of that and exude that excitement and belief in others and enroll people in our mission for making the world a better place. So love you guys. Have a wonderful September. This is the first call of September, and 30 and 30. Here we go. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Goodbye.